Find your quiet for a moment. Let the air fill your lungs and release the day's weight. What follows is meant to give you steadiness, to offer you something real to stand on when your thoughts spin with worry or wonder. That quiet knowing in your chest, the one you've been holding? It wasn't sent into the void. It was heard. Your waiting was not an empty space. It was a room where something essential was being built, slowly and out of sight. While you practiced the art of staying patient, of not losing sight of yourself in the silence, another heart was walking a parallel path of its own. Now, the moment is opening. The understanding is no longer a secret. It is becoming plain, and it is meant for you. In their private hours, a resolution was reached. This wasn't a sudden turn or a passing mood. It was a slow arrival. The journey there was lined with their own questions, their own silent talks with the universe, their own push and pull. They were caught in a tug-of-war for a long time. Do not interpret that struggle as doubt about you. It was often the enormity of their feeling that made them pause. Loving you was simple. Building a life that honors that love felt enormous. It meant facing hard truths. It meant being braver than they felt. It meant risking the known for the true. They tried all the safe ways out. They buried the feeling in work, in logic, in duty. They told it to be silent. But the feeling did not fade. This is because what lives between you is not built on passing fancy. It is built on a kind of seeing. One day, they truly looked and something in their world realigned. They saw the fortitude behind your gentle way. They noticed how your kindness doesn't ask for permission or praise. They witnessed your calm, which is not neediness but a deep-rooted assurance. They met the real you, the one who doesn't trade honesty for affection. That authenticity, your unshakable core, is what finally moved them beyond doubt. You may not recognize this power in yourself because it doesn't shout. It doesn't plead for attention. You offer your truth without demand, and that is a rare and magnetic force. With you, they found a stillness they lacked. A strange and certain sense of belonging settled in. That kind of knowing, once felt, is indelible. It can be set aside. It can be argued with. But it cannot be unfelt or forgotten. The long pause had its reasons. The expectations of others, the weight of old promises, the voice of practical fear, all these applied a gentle, delaying pressure. Well-meaning people suggested simpler routes. The path of least resistance was clearly marked. But a decision that is tested by every wind is not a weak one. It is a choice that has been tried, and has chosen to remain. For a season, the noise around them was all they could hear. It caused them to stall, to retreat into stillness. To you, that distance may have felt like a closed door, a sign of fading interest or uncertain feelings. Please understand, the space they took was never a reflection of your value. It was the echo of their own apprehension about the new world your love would create. But then, something within them began to refuse the compromise. Each step they took on the expected path felt more like a loss. A profound realization took hold. Choosing the familiar would mean sacrificing something irreplaceable within themselves. The thought of a future that did not include you became a shadow they could not accept. This clarity grew until it outweighed every doubt. Here, a quiet revolution began. Their inner dialogue transformed. The chorus of "What will people say?" grew faint, and a single, resonant question took its place: what kind of life do I truly want to live? They ceased striving to arrange a perfect external picture and turned their attention inward. What they found there was not a fleeting infatuation, but a profound resonance. It was you not as a temporary dream, but as a lifelong teammate. Not as a distraction, but as a destination. Not as a passing thrill, but as a profound and steadying presence. All hesitation has now dissolved. The debate is over. Their inner self has cast its vote, and the choice is you. This certainty is not a loud declaration, it is a settled and silent fact. A conviction this deep does not waver with outside opinion. They are moving toward you now with resolve, with earnest commitment, looking beyond the first chapter of a love story. They are envisioning the entire book, the daily rhythm, the shared burdens, the sanctuary you create together. They are choosing a bond that matures, not one that fades. They are choosing a quiet harbor, and they recognize that refuge in you. For your own peace, let this truth anchor you: you were always the destination. You were not a temporary stop. You are the quiet thought that persisted when other thoughts faded. You are the answer their spirit returned to. Your essence brought them a sense of order, not turmoil. This is the reason you remained in their heart, despite every effort to move on. Your own poise was the most compelling testimony. You did not pursue. You did not negotiate your worth. Even through uncertainty, you maintained your inner steadiness. You held to your hope, you honored your own boundaries, and you preserved your core. This quiet dignity communicated a powerful truth that silence could not hide. They observed it. They were moved by it. It was the final proof their heart needed. Now, they are making themselves ready not with impulsiveness, but with deliberate care. They are aligning their own spirit so they may meet you not from a place of uncertainty, but from one of wholeness and integrity. They are not seeking approval for their choice, they are seeking the right way to honor it. And your role now is not to wait in suspense. It is to exhale. To let go of the exhausting puzzle of their past silence. To stop auditing your own worth or revisiting history for errors you did not commit. You did not come up short. This was not a fantasy. Your love was never a mistake. It was the quiet light that guided them through their own darkness. Your love was given in truth, and truth always circles back to find its source. A new season is unfolding. Even without sound, the course is set. Even before declarations, the connection itself is transforming. When you meet them again, you will know the shift. You won't need to interpret signs or seek validation. Their footing will be solid. Their meaning will be plain. Their follow-through will be consistent. Between now and then, anchor yourself in calm. Be wise with your emotions, but leave a light on. Keep living as your authentic self. There is no need to alter your volume, your size, or your essence to qualify for a love that is already yours. The selection has been completed. A verdict reached in sincerity cannot be overturned by apprehension. This is far from an ending. It is the quiet prelude to revelation. You are not off schedule. You are exactly on path. To them, you are no casual memory. Within their spirit, you have become a cornerstone. You feel like a commitment their soul recognized before their mind could fully grasp it. Any shame they carried about the intensity of this bond has dissolved. They've ceased the work of hiding it, softening its edges, or defending its existence. An inner settlement has occurred, and from that settled place, valor has grown. They are no longer withdrawing. They have crossed a threshold where dread holds less influence. Where they once were captive to perception, the optics, the potential disappointments, they strive to mold themselves to fit an external mold. That effort left them feeling fragmented and diminished. But a fundamental realignment has taken place. They now sense a foundational strength upholding them, a force that is steadily displacing old fears. When your image arises now, it does not bring disorder. It delivers serene understanding. It offers a joy that is sustainable, not fleeting. They've made a vital observation. Remembering you does not trigger a rush of anxiety in their chest, but a flood of tranquility. It doesn't deplete them, it refills them. This has been their definitive evidence. What is born of the Spirit gives life, not distress. They are learning that genuine love bears wholesome fruit. It does not scheme, intimidate, or impose haste. Fear is not part of its composition. What they hold for you is tender yet resilient, yielding yet unwavering. It is forbearing. It is constant. And because of these qualities, they have placed their faith in it completely. You stand apart from all others. In you resides a gentleness that offers sanctuary and a fortitude that needs no fanfare. Your love is not broadcast, it is embedded. You wait with poise. You move with deliberation. Your speech brings solace, not domination. This inherent nobility has left an indelible signature on your spirit. It is your distinction. It follows that not every outside observer understood. Relatives, companions, echoes of the past, some scrutinized, some were skeptical, some attempted to intervene. There may have been ridicule, criticism, or doubt sown. But a vision greater than human sight perceived what was invisible to them. And now, gradually, their own inner sight is coming into focus. This is the reason their thoughts have known no ceasefire. In the deep quiet of night, when all else is still, their consciousness inevitably returns to you. This feeling is not superficial or a way to pass the time. It is a profound summons from within. You fill their prayers without them even planning it, their thoughts drifting into conversations with God about you, not from a place of doubt, but of readiness. They whisper when they wonder how, they ask for guidance on the next right step. Their heart, their courage, their entire being is preparing for a moment they know will redefine your worlds. Their motivation has changed. It is no longer just the thrill of possibility. It is the sobering weight of a future regret, the certain knowledge that losing you would cause a deeper pain than the vulnerability of stepping forward. Inaction has become the greater agony. So, they are making space for this truth. They are quietly distancing themselves from confusing influences, from relationships that offer only conditional support. They are clearing the way, not with drama, but with finality. They have learned that a love of substance does not wait for ideal circumstances. It waits for a spirit that is ready to meet it. They have selected peace over applause. They have chosen inner conviction over outer comfort, and your shared truth over familiar tradition. This is the choice they have made, you, over the noise of every other opinion. It may not look like a grand gesture to the outside world, but in the unseen realms, it shifts everything. They have accepted that there will be no universal applause. Understanding will not come from every corner. And that is fine. Their need for permission has been replaced by a commitment to follow the knowing in their soul. Their vision is not of a fleeting chapter. It is of a shared lifetime. They picture the ordinary holiness of morning coffee, intertwined prayers, meals prepared side by side. They envision building a home, raising a family, growing old, crafting a legacy anchored not in flash, but in faithful love and genuine peace. They do not desire a highlight reel. They desire a covenant. To them, this is not a daydream. It feels solid. It feels sacred, like a design that has been patiently assembled beyond their sight. They trust that forces greater than themselves are now orchestrating the details, the timing, the conversations, the practical means. What once seemed out of reach is beginning to feel like an inevitable arrival. Other paths have faded from view. Distractions have lost their power. The season of watching from the sidelines is over. An inner voice has declared an end to waiting, to fear, to delay. It is time to choose, fully, because they finally saw you. They saw beyond the surface. They witnessed your endurance, your patient heart, your steadfast loyalty. They saw how you chose to love even from a place of hurt, how you refused to let bitterness take root. They saw the dignity in your silence, the strength it took to hold your ground when leaving would have been easier. That love did not just move them, it transformed them. It humbled them. It broke open a shell around their own spirit, forcing them to confront their hidden fears and immaturities. They realized you were never asking to be pursued or persuaded. You were not pleading to be selected. You were standing in your truth, waiting to be truly seen. And now, they see you. They recognize you with a clarity that feels divine: your depth, your gentleness, your resilience, your quiet faith. That recognition has ushered in a solemn seriousness they have never known before. This is no longer a question. It is the quiet beginning of their answer. You will know the moment by its weight. Their approach will not be tentative or filled with vague assurances. It will be defined by resolve, transparency, and a pledge they intend to honor. If they speak the words, "My choice is you," understand it is not a sentiment voiced in a fleeting moment. It is a conclusion reached after a long consultation with their soul. When you hear it, a deep sigh will rise from within you, a silent, "At last." It will feel as if the hopes you sheltered in secret are finally stepping into the light. Not because challenges vanish, but because commitment has finally given your shared feeling a name and a direction. This carries a gravity beyond mere affection. When an individual decides for you in defiance of external opinion, personal anxiety, and inherited paths, the decision itself becomes holy. It becomes an act of divine agreement. Celestial beings witness this not as a simple love story, but as a spirit finding its courage, observing truth materialize, fear recede, stillness transform into motion, and love become a lived reality, not just a whispered hope. Therefore, if the visible landscape appears unchanged, do not assume a lack of progress. The most significant heart work is done in solitude. Spirits often reorient themselves completely before a single outward sign is given. A vow of this magnitude is not postponed, it is being fortified. Hold your position. Maintain your gentleness. Keep your foundation firm. Cultivate your inner quiet. Be a guardian of your own heart, yet leave the window open. For what is meant for you will not arrive in a cloud of uncertainty. It will come with unmistakable understanding, with genuine honor, with deliberate steps, bearing a serene confidence that states, "I have arrived. I am certain. My decision is made." The season of wondering whether is concluded. Now, it is only a matter of until. And that arrival is closer than it has ever been.